beside her, I am the better man. When I look to leave her, I always stagger back again. Once I built an ivory tower so I could worship from above. When I climbed down to be set free, she took me in again. There's a big hard sun beating on the big people in the big hard world. When she comes to greet me, she is mercy at my feet. Yeah, when I see her pin her charm, she just throws it back at me. Once I dug an early grave to find a better land.
Stepping stones, and those work very well for migratory birds. For example, they need stopover areas where they come and rest, they come and find food, get energy, so they can keep going north or keep going south, depending on the period of time that they are making their migration.
Birds work on a lot of different scales.
Yeah.
You know, for the Canada geese, this is, you know, really kind of the southern terminus of their wintering range now. So they'll nest up in the Ungava Peninsula in Canada and come down here in winter. And then you have other birds like the neotropical migratory songbirds that breed far to the north, just pass through here over a 3 or 4 week window and then head far to the south.
Such is the way of the world, you can never know just where to put all your faith and how will it go.
Those stopover areas are critical for the survival of many migratory birds. And that's one of the main reasons we have so many national wildlife refuges in the east coast of the United States. We have refuges from Maine all the way down to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And those basically follow the migratory patterns of many species. And so those are critical areas to protect and to manage for those.
One of the neat things about Blackwater is it has, you know, large expanses of forested habitat, open water, emergent marsh, so it really provides habitat for a broad array of species in kind of a collection that you don't see very often on the landscape. You know, a lot of marshes in this part of the world are, you know, fairly small, narrow, where we have these, you know, broad expanse, 100-acre, you know, blocks of marsh out there that provide habitat for a lot of, you know, marsh specialist species.
Right now, some of the threats, some of them are obvious, like development and development encroaching into the National Wildlife Refuge system. Those buffer zones that are needed to protect, for example, the water quality coming into the refuge are shrinking because of development and fragmentation due to highways and roads and houses and all of that. So that's kind of one of the obvious threats. But right now we're facing another one that is at the global scale, is sea level rise and climate change. At the field level or at the National Wildlife Refuge level, one of the things that we are doing is trying to understand how the system is behaving and try to project how it will react and what it will be in the future. For that, for example, we have one model that we are using. It's called SLAM, Sea Level Rise Affecting Marshes model, that we are using it to at least get an idea of what might happen in 50 years, in 100 years. So that way we can design habitat restoration projects within the protected lands in the refuge, or even on private lands.